watching the replay. And today we are talking about how do we foster this success in our life and business. And we're going to dive deep into that. We're going to figure out what the rules are, how we can make this work for us, and really understand how we can then start implementing this in our daily lives, and really moving forward, how we can then make things start focusing on the successful side of things. Hi, I am Nene Kufu, and I am a confidence coach, and I serve introverted women in life and business who want to gain that visibility so they can feel seen, heard, and understood. So, fostering success. When we're talking about this, then we have to really look at the influence and the self-reflection, how we, what is that thing we're doing and putting ourselves out there. When we're really looking at the particular things, our thoughts and emotion, how those things kind of like influence us. Because what we are thinking is what we're going to start feeling, and what we're feeling is what we're going to start doing, and that doing is what we're going to start having and start materializing. So if you're thinking if you're not thinking positive things about yourself, you start feeling some waves. If you're thinking positive things about yourself, you'll feel a different way, right? And with those feelings you start acting some way. You can start acting sluggishly, or you start being proactive, you start doing whatever you're doing. And then by having whatever you're doing, whatever you the doing then will now produce what you have. The knock-on effect of the actions we take will produce the results, and those are the things that we're going to have in our lives and business. So to break down there's a rule to this thing. There's a rule to really fostering a success, a rule to really making sure that we're aligning with the things that we want. And that rule is called a 60-20-20 rule. So 60% of the whole deal is our psychology. The other 20% is our energy, and the other 20% is our magnetism. I just said that word. I find it very difficult saying that word, but we're going to keep trying to say it right. So now let's really figure out, okay, what are this? What do they mean, and how can we use them? How can we really have that effect on us? The psychology. The psychology is how we feel about ourselves, other people, and the world around us. And especially for ourselves, what we think about ourselves, how we feel, what are those thoughts, what are those beliefs, what are those things we really have. We think, okay, this is us. This is this is my thought about myself. This is those things that we then ultimately, with those things is what we then ultimately have to achieve, right? Now, with the energy side of things, energy is not necessarily the physical energy. The energy we're talking about here in this formula to success is the energy that we generate. It's like a higher energy. So for instance, when I put a smile on my face, that is some energy. If you those ECCG, they check the waves, whatever that's going on, you will see those things bouncing. You see those things really reflecting. That's the energy we're talking about. The energy you're putting out there. It doesn't have to be some waves. It's what is that energy that you're putting out there to then pass on to other people. So with the rule is 60% is psychology, which is what you think about yourself, others, and the world. So whatever your thoughts, whatever your emotions, whatever things that's going on for you, what you're thinking about that, now the other 20%, the energy side of things. What is that energy you're bringing on? Are you bringing a ground you're feeling? Are you bringing a smile feeling? What's that thing? Not necessarily physical. It's more how are you putting yourself? What is that? How are you reflecting on yourself? What's that energy you're bringing out? And the third and final one is the magnetism. And it is when you have two magnets and the opposite end would just attract. So how do I explain this thing with the analogy of the magnetism side of things? It's what we're attracting, what we're putting out there. When we put good vibes, we generally get good vibes back, right? Whatever you're putting out there, you're attracting that to yourself. So when you have good thoughts and you have good beliefs about yourself in particular, because we really focus about ourselves, because the success is about us. And then, we can't really control what other people think, or like what's going on in the world, or like what is happening. But we can really influence and work on ourselves, that like how we see us, how we see our beliefs on like who we are and what identity is, and like how we flow as a person. That we can control. And then the energy of how we put ourselves out there. Like, people tend to think, okay, we, like, as introverts, we derive our energies by ourselves and all those things. We have to give the energy of like that which you want. If you're giving the energy of like, I'm not good enough, trust me, people can tell you feel that. The energy will come out. If you have that feeling of like, you know what, I am not capable, whatever is running through your body suggests that, having this higher power, that this is how I want to roll. This is what's going on for me. This is like how I'm showing up. Okay, putting out that which we want, and by doing so, the magnetic part of it becomes like, it's so easy, because we're attracting those who we want. We're attracting the people on our own wavelength. Because when we, if you see someone who's kind of, you wouldn't want to approach that person, or like whatever it is, like that, there is no synergy. There's nothing there to make people to want to be attracted or to want to kind of like connect. So by having this combination of these three different parts of knowing ourselves, believing ourselves, our psychology of who we are, who we stand for, how we see things, our beliefs about ourselves, about how we want to show up or what we believe in, and then that would then help in transition of the taking of the action. Then the energy, how do we want to show up? How do we want to put ourselves out there? How do we want to do the things that we need to do to make sure that, things are flowing? And then we're then magnetizing, attracting that which we want to us. And then with all that, things start flowing. We start seeing results through the action, because of what we're thinking and how we're feeling and then what we're doing. And then we have those things that we want. So when we have those things put together, do we then start seeing everything working out for us? The success will then start happening, and then it would then have that the impact in our health, in our happiness, in our finances, in our well-being, in everything. The results, you start experiencing all these things because of how we have really worked on our psychology. Our energy levels are like great, and then we're then attracting and magnetizing those things which we want. Do we then have the success in whatever area we want? So, in hindsight, to foster this success for us, we have to make sure what we're thinking, how we're feeling, what we're doing, and the results that we have, what we have, are in flow. We're really intentional, and like knowing that things have an effect. Because whatever you're thinking, you're going to start feeling some ways. Whatever you're feeling, would have that effect, and then the results. So, and it's vice versa. And with all those things come the impact in our happiness, in our relationship, in our well-being, in our, you name it, our experiences would then fall true. So, to end, wanting you to know that you have that working on yourself, working on the inner game, working on your person, because we already know what to do. We already know how to do it. We're just not doing it. So when we can align all these different parts and making sure these things are happening, we then have that boost and things to keep going. All right, there. Remember, your voice matters, and it's your time to use it. And if you're wanting the support in helping you align in this rule, in helping you to make sure that everything is in accordance, hook me up. And you can also join my class that's happening next week, and where we can dissect this and really go deeper and really focus on how we can make all this juiciness come to fruition. You have your good day, and keep going. Keep your eye on the ball, knowing that you have that power to change your life. Your voice matters, and it's your time to use it. Bye for now.